Hi all, this is Jessica Langerman, and this is going to be a very quick introduction to Slack. Okay, to get started, you want to go down to your web browser, and what you will do is go ahead and type in www.slack.com. That is going to bring you to this web page where you'll see this button, Get Started. You will go ahead and click on that button, and Slack will lead you through a process in which you're going to register with your email and put in a password that will enable you then to download the application onto your laptop, your phone, or your iPad. Okay, at that point, on your laptop, you will see an icon, a Slack icon, down here on your dock. So again, once the app is installed, that will pop up. And in order to open it, you just go ahead and click on it, and you should get a screen that looks like this. Okay, now most of you who are listening to this video are here because you were invited to join our CXC Maryland Slack team. So what you would need to do is just type in CXC-Maryland, all lowercase, and then the rest of the URL .slack.com is already typed in here for you. So you just go ahead and click continue, and then you would type in your email address. Continue, the password that you set up earlier. Continue, sign in, and voila. Here you are, entering Slack. Okay. All right, everybody. So now, over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see the workspace that you're in. Now, I tend to think of this kind of as an office building. Right now, I'm in the CXC Maryland office building. And here, under the word channels, are all the different offices in that building. And each of these offices has been designed to focus on a particular topic that we are working on at CXC Maryland. Now, when you first join, you're not going to see all of these channels. In fact, you may only see, I think, this one called General and another one called Flim Flam. So in order for you to see all of these channels, what you would do is just go up here to the word channel, click on it, and that brings you to this screen. Okay, so here are all the possible channels. Now, here is what makes Slack, in my opinion, so unbelievably valuable compared to email, because all of us work for different organizations, and we all are flooded with email. The email all tends to be focused on different topics. So in Slack, here, the channels really are the topics, but you get a chance to determine which topics you want to receive information about or even be aware of. So let's say that you are really interested in the upcoming election and how we can get the gubernatorial candidates to care about carbon pricing. Well, then you might want to choose this topic, election. And so what you would do is just click on election, and then when you go back to the channels here, you will see election crop up. Okay, and you will now have access to everything that comes across that channel. So let's say you're interested in polling, or you're interested in this cool new project called the BARS Project, which is a way of gaining the support of small businesses on the Eastern Shore for carbon pricing. Then you would go ahead and click on that, and then once again, that channel will show up under your list of channels. So like me, if you want, you can go ahead and click on all the channels, but that does not mean you are obligated to look at any of them or respond to any of them. It just means you have access to them. And if you see something interesting or you feel like kind of catching up on whatever happens to be happening in that neck of the woods, you can go ahead and check in on it. So I went ahead and registered, I guess I would say, for all the channels so that I could see everything. And that's why I have this long list over here. Okay, so now you will notice that sometimes some of these channels are bolded. And what that means is that new information has just been posted by somebody on one of these channels. So this stands for the Maryland Climate Coalition. I am always messing up on acronyms. Mitigation Working Group. If I wanted to know what was happening there, I would just go ahead, click on that, and I would see all of the information that is most current for that particular channel. Let's see, for example, media and marketing. Let's go check out and see what's happening there. So here we have a couple of new posts from Pat Ratowski. First draft of a potential media campaign that he has created. Pat has posted some JPEGs that you can download and have a look at, okay? And you can respond to what's going on right here. So more on that later. So again, we've got a lot of these channels here. You'll notice that some of them are locked, and that means that they are private and sort of by invitation only. So if you're interested in joining one of those, you can just send a direct message, which I'll get to in a second, to me, and I can give you that permission. Okay, so here's another channel that was not highlighted, but to kind of give you an idea of what these channels look like and what their function is, you'll see that this channel is dedicated to tabling events. There's a conversation here about what was going on about a tabling event back in September. So here is a channel about the upcoming Tesla raffle, and on this channel I posted some JPEGs that I thought volunteers might want to use as part of their email signatures or to send out to their friends, etc. So, okay, how do you operate one of these channels? Once you've joined one of any of these channels, and you decide that you want to post information on them, which is kind of the same thing as sending an email having to do with this topic, you would go ahead down here and just type in your message. Hello everyone, we have already sold almost half the tickets, which is 2,000 tickets. Hooray! The drawing is January 1st. Okay, all right, so if I wanted to post this, I would go ahead and hit return. If I want to create a new paragraph, I would hit shift return, and then I could continue typing here until I'm done, at which point I would hit return. Okay, meantime, you at your computer would suddenly see this channel become bolded like this, and that would tell you that there's some new information about the Tesla raffle. Do you care? Well, you might not even have chosen to see this channel. You might not care at all. Or you might semi-care, in which case you would see it bolded, and you could go ahead and click on it and see this latest message. Okay, so now let's say you want to respond to this message. You've got a bunch of different options. This is the, how can we live without emoji option. Next to that, you'll see something that says start a thread. Okay, so this would be the equivalent of just replying to the sender. If I wanted to reply to the person who posted this message, in this case myself, I would go over here and click start a thread. And suddenly the screen changes, and you'll see that the initial message that I posted here also appears up here. And if I were you, I could respond by typing a little message just like so. And when I hit return, down here, you'll see an indication that there is a reply to this message from Jessica. Now you can decide whether or not you're even interested in looking at that reply. Maybe you're not, so don't. Let's say you want to send your own reply. You would go down here and you would reply, you click your own, you type in your own reply, and this would be the second reply. So I'll try, I am another volunteer replying, enter, now you will see that there are 2 replies down here. Now, let's say you're done with this. Okay, that's great. Now you have new news to post. Hi, everyone. Here is some new news on a slightly different topic. Maybe I should say subtopic. Okay, I'm going to post that. And because this is kind of a new subtopic, you'll notice that it's not part of this reply to the initial message. It's kind of its own new email. And people can start a thread and reply to it, or they can just, start a new subtopic if they want down here. Okay, so let's say that now I regret everything I've done and I really want to delete this message. Well, I just click here on these little 3 dots, and I actually have a bunch of choices. One of them is to edit the message, the other is to delete it. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, fantastic. Now let's say that, notice here I've got 2 replies, and see how the screen's gone blank again over here? But if I go ahead and click here on view the thread, then up comes this thread again. So I can delete this over here, and I can do the same up here. Okay, whoop. Everyone's going to be an expert in deleting messages in a moment. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now let's say that I have something important that I want to say about the raffle, and I particularly want Phil Jacobsberg to know about it. I would type in the @ symbol, and then I just start to type in Phil's name. And because Phil is a member of this channel, his email address will immediately come up, or his identifying name will come up here. And I can go ahead and kind of alert him. Ooh, alert, very important message for you. And he will be notified that someone has kind of called him out or particularly drawn his attention to this particular message. So that's a way of making sure that the people that you really want to see your message see it. Okay, another thing you can do is send something privately using this feature over there. Let me just show you one more time. This is called direct messages. So you can hit on direct message, and you will see all the names of different people to whom you can send a direct message. That won't be, whoops, sorry about the dogs. It will not be viewed by other people in the channel, just the person whom you are direct messaging. So let's say I'm going to go down here. Well, these are all the people with whom I have already had conversations back and forth. And if I wanted to start a direct conversation, let's find out what would happen if I tried to start a direct conversation with myself. Okay, so here we go. I can actually send a message to myself, and I was going to say technically what should happen is this should highlight, which would alert me that Jessica Langerman has just sent me a private message. And if I go here, I will see the private message that exists just, to myself. So that is another way of communicating via Slack. Okay, so I think we've covered the main things. If you are working, you may already have Slack in your own office, in which case you may belong to more than one workspace, which is what these things are called. And you will find that you can actually sign into another workspace if you want. So for example, I also belong to CXC-Massachusetts. And if I click there and enter my password for that, JH. Then you'll see that I actually have access to both workspaces coming up here, and I can easily toggle between workspaces. So right now I am in I'm in the Climate Exchange Massachusetts website, and then I can easily toggle back to the Climate Exchange Maryland website. Okay, well that really is, those are the basics for Slack, and it has been such a monumentally helpful tool to me that I really hope you will give it a try. And I look forward to seeing you on Slack. All right, bye-bye.